Hello everyone, another Klaus here for another Bionicle video review. So today I'm gonna do a kind of a special review because this is a review I wanted to make for a long time, but because I lost a part of one of the set, I couldn't do this review. But today I just received the part I've lost some years ago. And the set is fully completed, is full, so I can now do the review. And the review I'm gonna do is the Turaga one. So I'm gonna review the 6 Turaga in one review. And I do not have the box, so I'm just gonna show you the front of the box because I kept them. I do not know why, but I just kept the front of the box, so I still have that, but not all the rest of the box anyway. So I'm gonna begin with Vakama, of course, and we'll see every Turaga. Excuse me. Yeah, right here. So here's the front of the box. As you can see, you have the grayish border right here, which is a trend, which was a trademark of Bionicle in 2001. The Lego Technic logo, which will disappear in 2002. Excuse me. Bionicle logo, set number. And here you have Vakama with some orange background. As you can see, I think that's Kinini, this stuff right there on the background. And of course, the ground is has some lava and stuff like that. And Vakama right here. And I also have the back of the box. So the back of the box was the same for all 6 Turaga. So excuse me if there are some lost parts, but as you can see, you have Bionicle plus the website address right here, and then you have a group picture of all Turaga together. So with Nokama, Nyuju, Vakama, Onewa, Matao, and when you have, and then the combiner of the Turaga. And as you can see, you have all the 6 shape of all the Turaga right here behind the combiner. And I do not have the instruction also, but the instruction were on the back of a poster. On this poster, it featured Toatayu plus Turaga Vakama side by side. I think you may see it right there, as you can see on my wall poster. And even if you can see with my cam, I recommend you to go on the Lego website and search for the instruction of the Turaga. And with the instruction of the Turaga, you will have a picture of the poster itself also. So on the instructions, there were just the instruction for the Turaga itself and the poster at the back, and no instruction for the combiner. So I think you have to do with you have to make it with just these only pictures and your imagination. But maybe some instruction have popped on the internet since this time. And now I'm gonna talk about the set itself, of course. So excuse me, I have to put the elastic stuff because I just have one. I could only find one because those are broken from the year, of course. So anyway, here is Turaga Vakama. So I'm gonna put this like that. So as you can see, the same color is the same as Tau. So you've got some orange and some red. So it's a Mata red or normal red, Tau red. Just some red to be simpler anyway. So I'm just gonna do a little turnaround and explain you how all Turaga are made. Because like the Toa, they are all different. They all got some little details, but they all share the same body frame. And of course, the difference between them are minor. You know, the Toa were bigger, so of course the difference were more important. And of course, with the Turaga, they are less important, but they are still there. So I think that's an important point to know. So anyway, I'm just gonna put this like that, I think. So I'm just gonna do that for Vakama, of course. So as you can see, the frame is made of little technique parts. So you got these 2 parts right here, which are some L-shaped parts, as you can see, with tons of pinhole and 1 little axle hole right here. So you got 2 of them, and between them you've got this part to do, which will be useful to make the neck, I can say so. On this part, you've got the lever, as you can see, with the rubber band right here, and then some part just to I think to link the two parts between them and to fill the hole. So of course the lever will be useful with an arm. So here's the arm. As you can see, it's made with an angle parts, technique angle parts, as you can see right here. I think it's the 5th one here. So I'm just gonna put this right there. So as you can see, you've got the axle all inside. Yeah, maybe not because it's really dark, but anyway, I think you have to put this like that. And then you've got the second arm, which is independent from the lever. So as you can see, it's just one pin, one axle part. So you can move it easily or fully, if I can say so. But I will show you the articulation later anyway. Here is the legs and feet. As you can see, the foot are in fact towards head, but without the brain eyes combo, of course. And of course, another angle connector parts. So you got your pin right here, and you just have to put this in this pin hole. This is the only one free remaining anyway, when you have finished to do the body, to build the body, excuse me. And there you go. And finally, the head. And tada, you have finished. So of course the new parts or recolor parts, I do not know for all this angle connectors parts right here because I do not own that much technique sets, so I do not know if they were released before. But as for the Bionicle parts, as you can see, you have some TOA heads, of course, in red. This one, of course, is with the brain eye connectors, the brain eye part, excuse me, right here. And so you've got 3 TOA heads. Of course, you've got the unique mask of Vakama, the Una, in orange, with a little code number, of course, at the back. Maybe you do not, yeah, it's just right here. And of course, like all Turaga, he got his own staff, which is kind of a staff of fire, so it kind of remind you of the fire sword of Tahu's fire sword. So excuse me if it has lagged. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna talk right now about the articulation and the gimmick of the set. So the gimmick, as you can see, is this lever with this elastic part right here. So in fact, you just have to put this. So you put up the arms, and then you just put off your finger, and it comes back in its initial position. So this is the gimmick. It's a very little gimmick, so really not that important at all. Maybe you can hit other player with that. I don't know, other Turaga. But this is and all the Turaga shares the same gimmick stuff. As part of the articulation, we've got this. Of course, this arm is on the lever, but this arm is fully. But of course, because this is a gray mi axle, mi pin parts, it have no friction at all. So you can just put this there, and it's gonna fall off automatically. Yeah, right here. And then you have also 1 point of articulation, or 1 point of rotation, as you can see, on one axis, of course, for the legs. So you can really do a little pose with that. Not so much, anyway. Like walking and stuff like that, but I think that's quite all. And it still looks kind of nice. So of course I'm gonna sum up when I will have done a review every Turaga. So I'm just gonna go on and review another Turaga. So excuse me, I just put off the rubber band, the elastic. And the next one is gonna be Onewa. So here's the front of the box. I'm not gonna show you the back of the box again because it's the same. So anyway, you've got the same gray stuff, and all that change, of course, is the background and the ground. So you have some stones this time, and of course you have some tan shade and stuff like that. As you can see, some tan fog and right there, and of course Onewa itself with his name right here. And the set, so you will see right now that even Onewa is different from Vakama, because as you can see, this time Onewa has much more longer legs. Right here, because the axle used is is one of 4 axle instead of a 2 axle right here. So this is it for Onewa. As you can see, the sham color are tan and brown, of course, so like Toa Poatu anyway. The new parts, of course, are the 3 Toa head, as you can see, in brown, so new colors. Of course, his mask, I think it's called Como. Right here. I think that's all for the canoe. I already shown you the canoe anyway with my canoe collection review. And of course, the last new parts is staff anyway, so kind like of hammer. Excuse me, the part is kind of damaged. And of course, you got some long axle hole to put it in his hand. So I really love this little staff. They are kind of useful for the Matterhorn when you want some to make some job like a construction worker and stuff like that. And of course, that's all. It's the same. So you got the same frame, you got the same part for the arms, excuse me, and of course the legs are longer. Of course, you've got the same gimmick, so right here. Just put up his arm, and then you have it. So I'm just gonna do a little turnaround of the set. Of course, this arm is free, then as you can see. And then you can make him some kind of running. So of course he's got a longer leg because Poatu, as you may know if you have seen my review of Poatu, or even if you haven't, Poatu, it's all in the legs anyway because it's got some upside down torso, all that torso frame. So he's got the articulation gimmick is on his legs, and his mask, and yes, his mask is the mask of speed. So here's for Onewa. Just let me take this part, and then we are gonna go with Onewa. So the Turaga of Earth. So again, the background is different and stuff like that. And of course, the eyes are the same colors as the Toa, so we may have not seen really clearly for Vakama, but it was pink. Of course, for Onewa it was orange, and of course for Onewa it will be green. So this time Onewa got a kind of a different frame. So here it is. As you can see, it's really little, if I can say. Is less taller than the other. For example, by the way, I think yeah, excuse me, Onewa is the tallest of the Turaga, and right here some comparison pictures or image anyway. Right there. So to achieve that, they done a different frame, or they modified the actual frame. So I'm just gonna show you. Of course, you still got your L-shaped part, as you can see, but this time on the neck they put this part to put the elastic, and as you can see right here, the neck is put on this axle hole right here. So you've got the neck, which is made of 2 parts. You put this like that, and then of course you just have to put the head right here, and there you go. And anyway, the new parts, of course, are the 3 older heads, this time in black. Of course, the color scheme is dark gray and black. Of course, all dark gray. There you have his mask. I think it's called the Ru, yeah, in dark gray. So this is this one which I lost some years ago, and I finally found it on Bricklink. But my first order never arrived, so I had to recommend another one. So this is why it takes me so much time to do this review. And anyway, of course, his staff looks like a drill. Very nice staff. So their staff kind of goes with their element, of course. And the little gimmick. So it was perfectly, but it's just a little gimmick, so it does not really, it's interesting at all, in my opinion. But it's still there, so of course, it's still nice to have put something on the little set. So of course, there was the official little set of 2001. The Mac Tower 1 were released as part of a promotion with the McDonald's. But I've already said you that in my Mac Tower 1 review. Mac Tower 1 review. Anyway, we're gonna go with Matao this time, or right now. So again, the same, but with a different background and stuff like that. Some jungle stuff, very nice. And as you can see, his body is again different than the other. So I'm gonna explain it on maybe not the body, but the head, where the head is put. So I'm just gonna put off the elastic on one you have. So here it is. So of course, his shame color is lime green plus normal green. You can see it'll turn on one of the set. And as you can see right here, it's why his head is placed donor. No, not. But it's placed right here in comparison to Vakama, for example. Yeah, I think the image will speak better. Will speak for me. You can see his neck right here, his neck parts, and as you can see on Matao is different because they place the part differently on this axis and not on this one, and so you have to put the head with this axle hole right here instead of this one, and there you go. You have your little different Turaga. So of course the new parts are the 3 older heads in green. The mask, I do not have the name of this mask. I think it's no, not maybe the Mikey. I do not know. Maybe the Mikey is the usual one, or Matatu. I do not know. So excuse me for that. Kind of a weird-looking mask, in my opinion. And there you go with his little staff, which is kind of like a saw, little saw. And of course, the little gimmick. And that's all for Matao. I'm gonna, yeah, right now we're gonna do Nyuju. So the ice one, or white one, you decide. So here's the background, the same with some snow and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you the set. Yes, here it is. So yeah, just put the elastic stuff. And here we go. So here's Nyuju. His shame color is some light old gray and some white, of course, like Kopaka. As you can see, this one got some longer arms and some longer legs too. Not as long as Onewa, but still longer than the 3 other Matawan I've shown you before. can see, and some longer arms this time. And here's a little turnaround. Of course, the new parts are the same. So as you can see, you've got three older head, one with kind of nice looking trans blue brain eye part. Of course, his mask. So I think this may be the Mikey. Do not know. Maybe I have the name right here. Excuse me. I'm just gonna show you, tell you clearly the name of this stuff. So this one is the Matatu, and this one was the Mikey. So there's the name of the noble mask anyway. Matatus, okay, and I think that's all for this one. And as you can see right here, you've got some ice pick as part of this stuff. And that's pretty much what I have to say on this set. Of course, you have the gimmick, which is the same as the other, and works quite perfectly, and the same articulation on their only axis anyway. And I'm gonna review the last Turaga, so the blue one, Nokama. And so you can see some rain on the background, right here, for example. And as you can clearly see, this time, this Turaga got some longer arm. Clearly, it's kind of haven't touched the ground. It's more like it's haven't touched the ground anyway. And here you go. Put this right there. Maybe I'm gonna show you clearly the eyes. So of course the shell color is light blue and some normal blue, so yellow blue, and name it all you want anyway, like you want. This is the same frame as you can see, so it's like Vakama, but this time longer arm with some axle of 4 right here, and but the legs are still the same as all the other, for example, when you are Matao or Vakama. So the new parts are the 3 tower head in blue, right here and right here, of course. So it's a kind of a nice utilization, a kind of a nice use, excuse me, for the head, in my opinion. Because of course, when you look at the side, they kind of look like feet, so I think it's okay. They look like mechanical in feet, so I think that's perfect for this use anyway. And of course the mask. So this is the row. More like a bolt shape, as you can see, with some polished surface. And his weapon, or his not his weapon, but his staff, is a trident. I think you also call this like this in English, right? A trident. And it's in blue, of course. And the gimmick, so this is the same. And I think that's all. I'm gonna show you a little group picture of all Turaga all together, and that will be there. It will I will have show you every Turaga. So the little set released in 2001 as part of the first saga. It was the first Bionicle saga. Yeah, wait. Yeah. So to sum up everything, there's not really much to tell about this little one because they are not that complex or anything, but I still think that's really nice. They keep the idea of 6 different sets. So as you have seen, some have head placed differently, some have longer arms or some longer legs. So they keep the difference they made with the Toa and use it for the Turaga. I just want to have some nice group shots, so I'm gonna try to put every Turaga in the same shot, if I can do that correctly. No, okay. Maybe more like front in the camera. Yeah, like this. So you've got all the 6 Turagas, so Nyuju, Nokama, Wakama, Wonua, Matao, and finally Onewa. Yeah. So that's it. So yeah, I think that's kind of nice. They used the little details, like the little difference between the Toa, and use them again for the Turaga. So as I've said earlier, you've got the longer arms, for example, for Nokama, the longer legs for Onewa, or some head placement like for on Wonua to be like Onua. And that's nice. The color scheme is good overall because it's the same as the Toa, and it's kind of the reverse of the Toa because of course the Toa, their primary colors was red, for example, for Tayu, and its secondary color was orange. And this time it's reverse because Wakama is the orange is his primary color in terms of color scheme. Also, the staff are quite nice, I think, because they can be useful in mocks for some Matawan workers and stuff like that, because you have some really nice hammer and trident and ice axle and stuff like that, little saw, little driller. So they're really nice stuff. The new parts apart from that are of course the mask, so they kind of useful also because they were only released in this one, and of course in 2004 with the little Mechuan but in different color, and of course the mask bags back in 2001, but it's kind to find some these days, but you can still order some mask from Brooklink. And the other new parts are the Toa Holder head parts, so that's kind of nice. You've got 3 of them. Of course, 2 without the brain eye combo part, but this is still kind of nice. The gimmick is a little really useless. It does not really have any importance, but it's still there, so I give credit Lego for that, because they still want to make a little gimmick, even if it's not that important or really that amazing, excuse me. And I think that's all. So they're quite nice. Also, they're also, as you can see, made of little technique parts. So it's not like the more recent Matawan, which are made of one part for the body, one part for the arms, and one other part for the legs. As you can see, this one are really made of little technique parts. So it's kind of nice, and the construction is overall really easy to accomplish, but it's kind of nice, and it takes like a 5 minutes, I think, or shorter if you have already built other Turaga. But I think that's all. I'm not gonna continue to speak a lot. So I think they are really a nice little set. They are the first, and I think they do that good anyway, in my opinion. Kind of like the Toa with the little difference between them. So they are all different in they're all unique. So I think I can recommend you some of these because I like, I think, for example, Wakama or Nyuju or Newa, or even, well, just pick one. I think they're really good. So just go ahead and try to find some garage shell or on eBay.com and stuff like that. So yeah, I do not have any really big drawback to this part, apart from, of course, the articulation and possibility parts, but they were old sets. So yeah, anyway, I think that's all. So I hope you enjoyed my review. If you have any comments or criticism, just post them. go ahead. I will read that and maybe answer you if I have the time. So hope you enjoy this one and see you later for another Bionicle video review. Bye bye!